Welcome everybody to the Redeemer Webzine. Today is Thursday. This is round 4 in Booster Draft here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm here with Andrew Wester.
Hello.
And what's your age? What?
I'm 18.
Okay. And where are you from, Andrew?
I'm from Rochester, Minnesota. Although I've been more active in the Austin, Minnesota playgroup, I just moved to Rochester. So.
Okay. Well, with the playgroups, how do they compare? Like, what's your, I guess your outlook on it?
Well, the Rochester playgroup has kind of started to slide. A lot of people went off to college, and so there's not much left there. So it's nice to go to Austin, where there's quite a bit of competition.
Okay, so it's a very competitive group that you're in now, right?
It's tough, yeah.
Intense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How long have you played Redemption?
Since 2004, I believe.
Okay. So in round 4 booster draft, what was your strategy going into the game?
Well, basically, I've been trying to just get through my deck as fast as I can and spread the Lost Souls out if I can. I knew it was going to be tough because I know how these guys play and they all use defense, which is kind of rare in booster draft, and so I just needed to get the cards I needed to get and use them.
So is this like a speed deck for booster draft?
Kind of. I mean, I have 3 cards that can draw 2, and then I also have Words of Encouragement to draw 3, and it's a 50-card deck, so I get through it fairly quickly.
What are the colors of your deck?
My main is gold. That was the tin I got, was the Judges in silver. I also used quite a bit of red, and a little bit of teal. I picked up Jordan Interrupted and Holy Unto the Lord, and that's been great addition with splash of white. So.
Okay. What about your defense? What colors for that?
Pretty much solid black. I also have 1 gold character just because I needed to add more cards, and then I have Most Skills the Egyptian as a nice battle winner on him.
So was the deck pretty even, like numbers wise, good compared to evil, or was there a difference in ratio?
There was definitely way more offense than defense. Of course, in booster, it's so important you get the heroes up early, and so that's basically what I was going for.
Okay, so how is your offense performing rescues?
Well, this last game, I had to battle every single Lost Soul. I had to use Holy Unto the Lord, Valley of Salt. Bravery of David on David got me a soul, which was pretty fun.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say like a name-on-name bonus type
Yeah,
thing?
it was a 2/2 enhancement from Unlimited. I also had David's Sling, but I never got to play it. But that's what I love about Booster Draft, is you can just put together things that you never see in normal play, and it can work really effectively like it did on David.
That's awesome. How big did he get?
He got up to, let's see. Well, I was against somebody with first strike, and so I was 14, 18. I had 20 offense and 11 defense.
Oh, wow, not bad. So how was your defense performing blocks?
It didn't.
It didn't do it?
I've tried, especially in past rounds, I've made a few blocks, but largely my defense is hopefully just to scare them away and Lost Soul draw and spread the Lost Souls evenly. I have a few evil battle winners if I absolutely need it, and I like to save those until I'm absolutely sure that they're going to win. And if they only have 2 Lost Souls, I really don't see the point in wasting one of my only battle winners. I have also used my defense to help my offense because I have the delegates who become a Lost Soul if they're defeated. So oftentimes I'll just block, make him die, and so I have a Lost Soul to rescue on my turn.
So did anyone catch on that because your defense wasn't doing too good with blocks, did anyone just try to put you in the pressure cooker and put on the heat and kept rescuing, or not really?
Not as of yet. I mean, people basically just take my Lost Souls and I spread them around, and it's multiplayer. I mean, that's the way it works.
Yeah, it's the nature of the game.
Right.
The category.
And I haven't had too many problems with drawing too many Lost Souls. They've come out fairly slowly and evenly.
All right. So did your game take off fast, or was it slow?
It took off pretty fast. We all drew 1 Lost Soul at the beginning, and so we all started at 1-1-1-1. And so then we had a little bit of soul drought, but then Mark Underwood had his speed going. I had some speed going, and Josh Knitt was creating Lost Souls, and Jason struggled a little bit getting his up and going, but it was a pretty tight game.
Oh, so the momentum, it started off fast and the momentum kept going?
Basically, yeah. I mean, Mark Underwood tried to slow it down with his beastly defense, but we were just punching through it, so it was intense.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Sounds like you guys had one fun game. Did you get enough of the cards you needed to win?
Oh, I got everything I needed. The last turn, I didn't have anything, and I used Angel at the Oak to draw two, exchange with Jair so I could draw two more, and I drew Furnace of God's Wrath as the last card for the win. So it really drew perfectly for me in that area. I always had something that I could use and get through.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So everything just went really smooth for you. Other people I interviewed and spoken to and such, it wasn't necessarily like that for them, but I'm glad it went that way for you. So could you describe to us some of your power plays and your best blocks, if you had some?
Well, I didn't really ever have any blocks. My favorite play so far has been Ithmar and Holy Unto the Lord. I mean, there's nothing you can do against that, and I did it first turn or last turn, and so I really haven't hurt myself any, and I haven't hurt other players any, which is the one problem with the card, as long as you can hold on to it. Some other great plays was I got Samuel, David, and King Saul, so I've been using Samuel to draw two and band. I have huge numbers. I have name-on-name bonus with David, as I mentioned earlier, with Bravery of David and David's Sling. So it's just been, I had a great draft, and it went well for me. I was very blessed.
Drafting the new Rock of Ages and Faith of Our Fathers tins, what's your insight, what's your input from those two sets?
Well, I thought red was going to be extremely dominant because that has just been a tin that seems like it should blow everything out of the competition, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Isaiah, actually, has been one of the top decks. My deck seems to be performing great, and that's the gold/judges. And so that one's nice because you get through it fast, whereas red is just a powerhouse, and Isaiah, it's recursion of battle winners, and it's hard to stop once it gets going. So those three have definitely stood out to me as above the rest.
Okay. With your game, did any of your opponent did any of your opponents surprise you with anything unexpected?
Well, when I rescued with David and he blocked with the first strike King Sennacherib, that kind of took me off guard, and I ended up having to play way more than I wanted to. David usually just gets free Lost Souls because of his huge offensive power, and I had David's harp, so I could just stick him back on the deck and use him again. So that caught me off guard. Mark Underwood made an interesting play by deactivating Household Idols when I had Samuel and King Saul in my territory. And I'm still not exactly sure why he did that. I expect he had a banding card in his hand that he wanted to use, but he ended up killing my Samuel anyway. So it worked out for the best for him, and it's overall been a pretty straightforward booster draft from what I've seen.
Okay. What was the final game score?
I had 5 Lost Souls. Mark Underwood had 3, I believe. Josh Knitt had 3, and Jason had 2. I'm not exactly sure on those. But
How have you done in the other few rounds? Like, what were your results? Because I heard some pretty good things about you.
well, first round I only got 4 Lost Souls, just because of the nature of multiplayer. That's how it played out, and the guy deserved the win. And it was James Ropke, and he's a great player and a good friend of mine, so I was happy he could get the win. Kind of aggravated I didn't win. And then ever since I've been blasting through the competition, and it's done well.
So would you say you're 3-1 right now then?
Essentially, yeah. The second place point has been nice, but 3 wins, 1 loss-ish.
Yeah. Well, you're still a top contender here. You know, the win is still up for grabs for you. So focusing back to the questions here, what were some of the notable qualities that your opponents brought to the table?
Are you talking about player-wise or personality-wise? What are you?
I guess you can just say either or both, whatever you'd like.
Well, Mark Underwood definitely surprised me because Booster Draft has always been so dominated by offense and multiplayer in general. And he had a great defense, and I mean, he was top table. He had a good deck, and I was very surprised that he could have such a good deck while also containing that much defense. And everybody I've played so far has just been really great, and they're nice. We've never had a problem with, oh, you played that, you can't take that back. A number of times it was, oh, these are new cards. I mean, people are going to make mistakes. They don't know what they do, so we've let people take it back, and it's been a very nice tournament.
Fun? You've had a lot of fun, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'd imagine. So, Andrew, I guess I'm going to wrap this up here because I know the next round is going to be... actually, this is the conclusion, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So, once again, for all the listeners here, it's Thursday, August 11th. It's the national event of 2011. And I just would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, threelionsgaming.com, as well as biblicalstrategy.com. So everyone listening to this, you guys ought to check out the websites, and all the glory be to God.